hands up in handcuffs. 2 months in and now he's caught in a trap. Got out, got caught with a gat and crack. Now what do these people think? Juvenile life like that. He grew up in the room with the mat, and he'll be released on the day he can legally drink. Now tell me, what's the matter with this picture? I wish it was a dream, but it seems too vivid. There's blood on these streets, I can't see whose is it. I should probably mind my business. I said, tell me, what's the matter with this picture? I wish it was a dream, but it seems too vivid. There's blood on these streets, I can't see whose is it. America wants me to mind my business. Now if you contain anything in a cage, its natural tendency is going to try to be escape, right? When these kids get out of the gates and they face life, if you raise them as a criminal, what do you estimate they'll behave like? The ratio is 80-something% of kids that get locked up again and go straight to the pen, and that's strange, right? It's a snowball effect, and they want to see you again so they can make sure that America remains white. Yep, oh no, I'm back on that race shit. But most of the neighborhoods are like cages, they're trying to escape it. If the American dream's to make it, then it's obviously blatant. If you're left with nothing, what do? Take it. Attempted murder was the case, my man got beat up, stomped in his face. Ask George Bush what you do when you're attacked. His boy went and let it spray, hit one of him in the leg. Now George, you can relate, remember Iraq? Or was it Afghanistan? It's the same funny, proving sometimes you gotta take something to make money. My man's homie snitched and said that he planned to hit me. He'll be out when he's 46. Now ain't the game something? The soldiers follow the same orders. The generals are Crips, folks in south of the border. Daniels and Bloods. Now is it the kid with the gun or the system that he lives in that has this disorder? If there's a fiend in the block, somebody's serving him. If there's a team with a Glock, there's a cop looking to turn him in. If you have something I want, there's somebody murdering since 1492. Where the fuck you think we learned it from? Tell me, what's the matter with this picture? I wish it was a dream, but it seems too vivid. There's blood on these streets, I can't see whose is it. I should probably mind my business. I said, tell me, what's the matter with this picture? I wish it was a dream, but it seems too vivid. There's blood on these streets, I can't see whose is it. America wants me to mind my business. Green Hill and Maple Lane, you guys know what it is. Keep your head up. It's easy for me to say, but even though you're incarcerated, they can never incarcerate your mind. Gateways. Anybody out there that strives to make a difference, I truly admire you to the utmost. But we are at a war right now, and it doesn't even look like a war. And I'm not talking about the war in Iraq, I'm talking about the war right here in America. Cause don't get it twisted, most of the soldiers in this country never enlisted. And we need people. We need soldiers to combat this war. Cause it's not gonna be fought in a protest. What we need is people that actually get involved. They can educate, get their hands dirty, get in the institute and make a difference from the inside out. That's what we need to fight this war. And believe me, it's killing us. 2005. Let's go.
Alright, this is Derek in the Midwest. I am back. You're listening to In Search of the Truth. You can find me here at slimswazy.com every Wednesday and Sunday evening, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. And just got done going over some Alex Jones information. And before that, we were covering a bunch of U.S. news stories. Made an announcement earlier in the show. I'll be having former Zeitgeist Chicago coordinators on my show this coming Sunday. Turns out that the coordinators for the Chicago chapter of Zeitgeist found out that the Zeitgeist movement was basically the exact same thing that I found out about We Are Change at the upper echelons of that organization. Again, not that I dislike We Are Change, not that I dislike activists in general. I want to be very, very clear about this. I love the idea of We Are Change. I think that the majority of We Are Changers out there are great people who are out there doing the right thing, and many of them are still stuck on Alex Jones, and I understand that. I was there for 4 years. I'm not condemning them. I don't look down upon them. I just think that it's the responsibility of researchers who are beyond Alex Jones, myself, anybody else who sees past his nonsense. It's the responsibility of the people who are further along, who have seen this already and have come to terms with it, to bring the others along and show them this information and be understanding and, work with them, speak with them, don't insult them, and if they come at you insulting, you have to understand that you just shat on their leader. Somebody who is their idol, their hero, whether they'll admit it or not, period. By saying that Alex is wrong about this or that, or you know what I mean? Like, that's a kick in the sack to them, most of them. And when you do that, you got to expect them to come at you, no, he's not, and that's what happens. But you have to understand that and be willing to deal with it, because we need everybody on our side that we can possibly have. And I know that, Sleek he's still at the point where he agrees that Jones is a fearmonger, and he agrees that Jones, does things that he shouldn't, but says that, hey, he's still 90% good info, right? Well, just because you're 90% good info doesn't mean that you're not going to lead people off the edge of a cliff when it comes to the end. And you can't just expect people to be smart enough to see that coming, because the truth is that most of these people that follow Alex Jones will not see it coming. Most of the people that follow Alex Jones are so brainwashed and hanging off the end of his nuts that they will do whatever he says, literally. If Alex Jones got on air tomorrow and told everybody in the United States to get a gun and run up in Parliament and start shooting, I guarantee you there would be absolutely mind-boggling, unprecedented numbers of people that would do that exact thing and wouldn't think twice about it. I absolutely guarantee it. And that's why Alex Jones is dangerous. And that's exactly why it's very important to expose people like Alex Jones, because these people have a mission, whether you see it or not, and whether you understand that 10% of BS from them, is not worth, hanging on to them as a leader or whatever. Whether you get it or not, man, the end result is going to be the same. No matter what you think of Jones or anybody else, Alex Jones is going to lead people astray and is going to lead people down to the path of the New World Order. I promise it. That will happen. If you can't see the writing on the wall, how much more proof do you need, really? And that being the case, I just don't understand how people can sit there and stick up for him, knowing that he has these dirty connections, and knowing that if Jones is willing to do what he did on Y2K, he's damn sure willing to do something that's 10 times worse than that for the future, very likely for what's going to happen with 2012. I don't know if that's exactly when it's going to be, but it would certainly make sense. If you know that this guy's out there pumping out fear like rabbits have kids, then is it really responsible for you to tell somebody to go listen to this guy? I don't think so. Not in the least. I don't tell people to listen to Alex Jones. There aren't many people that I tell others to go listen to. But if I do tell them to go listen to anybody, and this is not to say that I trust these people completely, because I don't, but right now they're probably some of the most accurate information you're going to get on a daily basis is Lee Rogers and Josh Reeves. And like I said, I don't trust them completely. I'll be the first one to say it. I don't. But they're right about a lot, and if I'm right about them, it makes sense, and they will be right about a lot, and they'll continue to be right about a lot, and they'll continue to grow and get bigger in this and that as well. But right now, at this point in history, if you want to listen to what is some pretty damn accurate information as far as news and whatnot, if you're not listening to Derek in the Midwest show, at some other point, you turn on Live Free or Die with Lee Rogers or The Global Reality with Josh Reeves, and I wouldn't be too pissed at you. It's it is what it is. Don't latch onto them, and don't do what some people do with Jones and other people, and don't make him your hero. And hold open the possibility and maybe even probability of at some point in the future one or both of those two exposing themselves as well. That's possible. You have to be able to keep that understanding and possibility open. if they're willing to sink this kind of money, into Jones and make him the biggest name in alternative media, which clearly they're willing to do, then you know that they have to have counterintelligence to counterintelligence to controlled opposition to controlled opposition to controlled opposition. This is how they work. It is. I mean, oftentimes I find when you see somebody exposing somebody else, I've said this before, and think what you want. Yeah, I expose a lot of people. I don't really care how it reflects on me. I think it's fairly obvious when you see my research and you listen to me speak and debate. I'm absolutely being genuine. But oftentimes I feel that when you see these people in the research community exposing one another, a lot of times it turns out to be shill exposing shill. And for the people that run the world, for the power elite, it works great for them, because what happens is somebody sees, like they start on Alex Jones, for example. That's who is credited with waking the most people up. So somebody starts with Alex Jones, and they get hooked on Jones, and they take in a few years of Alex Jones. Oh my God, he's so right, and you have this hero figure built up in your head now, Alex Jones. But you're somebody who, can accept the information, and it's going to suck, but hey, you go where the information takes you, right? So you end up finding out that for sure Alex Jones is provably disinformation. You go through all the stuff and you're like, oh my God, this sucks, I can't believe it, but whatever. And then, okay, so then you start listening and yeah. So then you catch on and somebody, oh, hey, look, Joke Blood is exposing Alex Jones, right? So now you're hooked on to Joke Blood. And yes, Joke Blood is Jack Blood, because Jack Blood's a flippin' joke. So now you're hooked on Jack Blood, and now you have a new hero, let's say. And you have two ways you can go about this. You can either make this guy your new hero, and you can latch on to him, and you can defend him illogically, like you did Alex Jones, before you realized, hey, wait a minute, something isn't right here. Or you can keep your open mind after you find out that Alex Jones is dirty, and you can hang on and say, hey, wait a minute, okay. So the biggest name in Patriot Radio is dirty. This guy's clearly running, a pretty big operation here. They're willing to sink all his money into him. Now, don't you think that when people find out that Alex Jones is dirty, that the priest class, don't you think that they want to have other mental boxes to keep you in? I mean, first you have religion. After religion, you have school. After school builds into the left-right paradigm of politics. If you get past all that garbage, you get past the left-right BS, then they have the third parties. And if you're lucky, somewhere along the lines, you'll get introduced to alternative media. Now, if you manage to get that far, bam, there's Alex Jones. The king of conspiracy, ready and waiting. And there he is. He's got a bunch of DVDs. He's got flyers. He's got his radio show. And, oh, my God, you've never heard truth like this in your life. And, this guy has to be legit. No. He never gets TV time. And when he does get TV time, they demonize him terribly. When, in all reality, if you were making any sort of real effort in the fight against the New World Order, if you were making, not an effort, but a difference, I should say. If you were making a difference, if the information that you were presenting was actually damaging to the New World Order, you would never be allowed on the news. They wouldn't even allow your name to be spoken aloud on the broadcast. Again, this is how they work. They ignore you. And honestly, as far as the public is concerned, although Alex Jones has a whole lot of listeners worldwide, if you ask the average person on the street if they know who Alex Jones is, most of them say no. Most of them have no clue about his fat ass. So, I don't know, just get me started on Jones. There you go on forever. But so that's basically why it's so important to expose these people. I mean, if you don't get it, these are the people that are going to be leading the way into the New World Order. You can look at him and go, oh yeah, but he puts out so much truth, there's no way. Yes, there is a way, believe me. That's how they do it. That's the best way. What's smarter for them to do? Do you think it's smarter for the New World Order, knowing that they work by subversion and with mental tactics, psychological operations, psychological warfare, knowing that that's how they work, do you think it makes more sense that they're going to just bring in the New World Order by force like the Nazis did, or like they tried to do with the Nazis? Or, no, you think it would be smarter